Welcome to part 48. We are still in the Spirit Temple. In fact, we're going to finish the Spirit Temple right now because it's time to face the bosses. Yep. And those witches have to be around here somewhere. Come on. Show yourself. Face me like the witches that you are. Alright, there they are. Alright, everybody. Meet Koum, the Fire Witch. And and Kotek, the Ice Witch. I like how the witches have their own unique theme song. It's kind of weird. None of the other bosses do. Anyway, together, these witches are the Sorceress Sisters Twin Rova. Yeah, it's pretty much a 2-on-1 deal here, folks. Me being the one, of course. Alright, the gimmick here with the Twin Rover here, one of the witches will shoot their respective element towards you. The Ice Witch will shoot an Ice Blast towards you, and the other one will shoot a Fire Blast towards you as well. And, of course, if you get hit by them, it will hurt a lot. Now, what we can do here is do what the owl says. Use your mirror shield to reflect one witch's blast onto the opposite witch, i.e. the Ice Witch to the Fire Witch and vice versa. So yeah, and the best way to do this is when one witch shoots their blast at you, Z target the other witch so that the beam will go back at the intended target and it will damage them that way. And of course if you miss, you can get burned or you can get frozen, you can lose your hearts, and I frickin' hate these witches. Of course, the problem is that they sometimes, like, they don't shoot like fire, ice. Sometimes they shoot fire, ice, ice, and so forth. So sometimes you have to keep a sharp eye on which witch is going to fire their respective beams. So yeah. Anyway, these witches here, these are Ganondorf's mommies. Well, to be more accurate, surrogate mothers. They were the ones that raised Ganondorf. They were the ones that taught him to be evil. They were the ones responsible for him becoming a complete scumbag. So yeah, kind of makes you wonder if Ganondorf, if he were to be raised under different circumstances, maybe he would have been a nicer guy. I mean, he would still be a Gerudo thief, but maybe a little more honorable. Yeah. And these witches, they're old. They are centuries old, which means they have seen numerous, like a few Gerudo males born and become kings. So why now did they choose Ganondorf to raise and have him be all evil and teach him all his magical powers and stuff? Maybe it's because, I don't know, maybe fate was guiding them, maybe some divine influence, or maybe a revelation in Skyward Sword about Ganondorf. But that's Skyward Sword. This is Ocarina of Time. So let's just move along, shall we? Yeah, these witches will appear in 3 more games. That includes Majora's Mask, in which it takes place in a parallel world, and they are good. And in the Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons, when they try to revive Ganon back from the dead. So yeah, after a while, they'll start changing their strategy, either by damaging them a few times, or if you wait long enough, this scene will happen. Well, coming up. Yeah, it's taking me a sweet amount of time to actually strike them. There we go. Just seems that these witches don't block their attacks that well. But of course, I'm hitting them with their opposites. There's no way to defend against them. And at long last, we are about to approach stage 2. Fusion! Ha! Alright, folks. They have merged. They have become one. And now, we're dealing with a little more fair fight. Yes, apparently, when two old witches fuse together, they produce one young-looking antagonist. So, yeah. Anyway, pretty much here, with Phase 2, we are facing Twin Rova. And as you can see here, she will shoot either Ice Blast or Fire Blast from the brooms turned wands. And basically, our goal here is to use the Mirror Shield and absorb these Ice Blasts or Fire Blasts. Now, the idea is that once we absorb a Ice Blast or a Fire Blast, we have to absorb 2 more Ice Blasts or Fire Blasts in a row. What I mean is, if you absorb Ice, the next 2 you absorb must be Ice. If you absorb Ice, then Fire, you will take damage, and I believe you will lose the charge in the process. So, just be careful of which blast she will shoot at you. And once you absorb either 3 fires or 3 ice, the mirror shield will immediately shoot that energy straight back at Twin Rova. It will stun her, and then we can strike her with our sword. And yeah. This boss is much easier because, again, we're just dealing with one person now. It's easier to dodge, less confusion. I'm happy. And yeah. And soon this boss will be dead. Now, here's a little fun fact. After we defeat these witches, if we go back to the Carpenters in Gerudo Valley, they will inform us that the Gerudo thieves will be a lot nicer, a lot less scarier. And it's pretty much implied that these witches here were keeping a tight hold on the thieves because these thieves are loyal to Ganondorf, very loyal. And of course, whenever Ganondorf wants, these 2 witches will try to provide because they want their little boy to be happy. And here's a little thing. A little random comment about the Gerudo. All Gerudo, that includes Nabooru, Ganondorf, and the Twin Rova here, they all have these jewels on their foreheads. And I don't know if they were there since birth. I don't know if there's some kind of ritual that implies that they actually get them absorbed, like somebody jams them into their forehead or carves them into their forehead. If anybody has an explanation for why they have forehead jewels, please explain, because I don't know why. Anyway, with that, Twin Rova's dead. She will split back into the 2 witches. And of course, we get this hilarious death scene. Well, depending on your point of view. And of course, they will claim that they're going to attack me some more. But then, of course, this bright light comes down from above, and they get halos. Yeah. Wait, does this mean that they're going to ascend into heaven? Well, that's pretty much a yes. I mean, shouldn't they be going the other direction because, well, they're evil and stuff? And, of course, they bicker about their ages because, one claims to be 380 while the other says they're 400. And as they bicker, they will ascend into heaven, which, again, that doesn't make sense. And of course, this I'll come back to haunt you. It's implied that both of them said at the same time. But in the 3DS version, it changed to we will come back to haunt you, which makes more sense. So yeah, let's go over here and get our last heart container of the game. And we are now at maximum health. We have 20 hearts. We will need all 20 hearts for the upcoming battle. And then let's go to the war point and we'll meet our Spirit Sage. And we all know who the Spirit Sage is by now. I mean, Don't they make these sages pretty obvious at this point? Alright. Out comes good old Naburu. I mean, who were you expecting? Malon? The Cuckoo Lady? Dampy? No, wait. Dampy's dead. Alright, yeah, from the moment we saw Naburu in the Spirit Temple as Child Link, bam, Spirit Sage. And it fits with the pattern. It's someone Link meets as a child, and someone connected with their element. So it pretty much makes sense that way. And yeah. Of course, she regrets having been manipulated by the witches and Ganondorf, and she's doing this because, yeah, well, she wants payback, and payback she'll get. And of course, she will give you the Spirit Medallion, our final medallion of the game. Yay! And once again, I repeat, the medallions do not add strength to you. There are markers indicating that you have completed the temple. Whoop-de-doo. And this next message here, as you start to fade away, she says that if she knew that I was going to be handsome, she would have kept the promise. Would this imply that Link was going to get some action? Well, Link's a chick magnet, and I'll give him that. Oh, hi, Rauru. Yeah, we awaken all the sages. Everything's all set. And there's somebody waiting for me. I guess this person waiting for me is Princess Zelda. And again, why don't you have any hands? So yeah, at this point in the game, you can either go the long way back to you can either go back to the Temple of Time or just use the Prelude of Light. Again, past me had difficulty because I was playing this on a C stick on my GameCube controller, but hey, I figured it out. I'm good. So let's do that. Alright. Alright, who are you waiting? Come on, who is this person? Sheik? Sheik? Alright. Yeah, pretty much I have overcome a bunch of hardships, so, yeah. Well, that's pretty much a given, a showdown with the evil. What? Alright, folks. Sit back, relax, because we are about to have another history lesson. And, I'm going to take a nap. See you in a bit. Okay, so it turns out that Ganondorf only has the Triforce of Power. 1/3 of the complete Triforce. Fun. Alright, and if 1/3 of the Triforce can do that much damage to a land, if he manages to get the remaining 2 pieces, kiss the world goodbye. Anyway, here's a fun fact about how these Triforce pieces work. Each piece is associated with one of the goddesses of that created Hyrule. Din is associated with power, Faror is associated with courage, and Naru is associated with wisdom. And it is not a surprise that Link has the Triforce of Courage. So who has the Triforce of Wisdom? A 7th Sage? Ah, the one who becomes the leader, eh? So who is it? You? Blinding flash of light and... Oh. Hi, Zelda. Yeah, folks. Sheik was Zelda all along. Not surprised. Well, for one thing, if you play the Super Smash Bros. Series before playing this game for the first time, you would have been spoiled by this revelation. Also, remember that Gossip Stone back near Hyrule Castle? Remember it saying that even though that Zelda is prefers Zelda wears dresses, she's actually a tomboy. Well, it turns out that if you don't know what a tomboy is, they're pretty much girls that like to dress in guys' clothing. So that was your in-game clue. And here's a flashback to when Zelda is pretty much a football player tossing that ocarina into the moat. Oh, fun. And of course, she's pretty much reminiscing on hoping that if Link had the ocarina, everything will be good, everything will be nice, everything will be... Well, Ganondorf cannot access the Sacred Realm. But of course, she did not expect that the good old Door of Time happened and everything, the Master Sword sealed you for 7 years. So, why did Zelda why did Zelda get the Triforce of Wisdom anyway? I mean, if she did not foresee this event... well, to be fair, she was a child at the time. She did not think the plan through. I mean, she had good intentions, but she didn't foresee every complication. But, hey, Link's back now. We pretty much fought through most of the land. We pretty much helped heal the land one piece at a time. So, yeah. Now the plan is we are going to fight Ganondorf. The sages will open a portal to the Sacred Realm and trap him in there. And with him trapped in there, Hyrule will be safe. And in order to do this part, Zelda will present you with your final item of the game. The Sacred Arrow of Light. The Light Arrows. Something that you should have given to me at the beginning while you were disguised as Sheik. But of course, she had to maintain her cover. And, well, you can't really blame her. I mean, she could have discreetly given them to me, you know, do a little hokey pokey as Link. Maybe Sheik, I mean, Sheik gives Link a clue about finding sacred light arrows, or whatever. Anyway, as soon as you get the light arrows, this scene happens almost on cue. And yes, Zelda, it is Ganondorf, and he immediately traps Zelda in crystal. Yeah. Now, of course, now that apparently Ganondorf's been watching Link throughout his travels, and now he's waited for this moment to happen where pretty much Zelda and Link meet, and almost immediately, bam, captured. I mean, as soon as Zelda becomes Sheik becomes Zelda, it's like bam, instant damsel in distress. No more of those fancy ninja moves. Yeah. And here's a fatal flaw Ganondorf made right here. He should have captured Link a similar way too, like produced another crystal, but then of course it would have been game over. But yeah, that's a big mistake, Ganondorf, letting me go free and stuff so that I can kick your rear later on. But of course it would have been game over. People would have complained and all that. But hey, maybe he likes a challenge. Maybe he likes to play fair. Who knows? Anyway, by kidnapping Zelda, now it's time for us to go to the castle and save her. Oh, goody. And another note, if Princess Zelda has been disguised as Sheik ever since she ran away, how'd she get that nice pimped out dress? We're going to assume it's the power of the Triforce that made her change clothes or something. Anyway, here, this nice little scene here reveals pretty much Ganondorf's home. This big old castle tower that is floating above lava. Yes, folks. Say hi to Ganon's castle. And before we head on into Ganon's castle, head towards the arch where it was once the gate to Hyrule Castle. Yeah, it's kind of sad how it's now in ruins. And over there behind this little archway right here is our final Gold Skulltula of the game. And we know what to do, folks. Now, the reason I waited until now to get this Gold Skulltula is because, again, just a minute or so ago, you saw that whole cutscene where it revealed Ganon's castle. And that scene only plays once. I mean, and every subsequent visit to this area will just be us just walking through like nobody's business. And I wanted to save the effect for this playthrough. I wanted to save this whole thing. I wanted to show you Link's reaction, like, oh my goodness, and all that stuff. Like, as soon as you get the hook shot from Dampy, you can actually come straight here to get the Gold Skulltula. And these ones, the ones in the Spirit Temple, those would have been the last ones in the entire game. And when you have gotten all 100 Gold Skulltulas, the token count will reach its maximum of 100, and it will turn red, meaning we cannot collect any more whatsoever. So yeah, now that we have gone all 100, that means that the adult in the House of Skulltula will be free of the curse, and we can get our reward. It's about time too, because I went all throughout Hyrule to get these golden spiders, so the reward should be good. I mean, we got 2 wallet upgrades, the Stone of Agony, or Shard of Agony if you are playing the 3DS version, and Bomb Shoes and Heart Piece. So, come on, make it be good. I want good reward, nothing bad. Hopefully, something nice, something I can use, maybe some kind of extra weapon, something that will make me stronger. Alright, buddy, you're now no longer a mutant spider, so give me my reward. Give me the reward. Alright, we get a huge rupee, which is worth 200 rupees worth. What? We get 200 rupees? That's it? I traveled all throughout Hyrule to help you, and that's all I get. Well, to be fair, at this point, when we come back to the House of Skulltula and talk to the adult guy again, he will continue to give us 200 rupees every visit, every time we talk to him. So it's pretty much an unlimited supply of cash. But at this point of the game, it's kind of pointless since there's nothing left to do except go into Ganondorf's castle and beat the ever-living snot out of him. So yeah, that's pretty much a big waste hunting all those Skulltulas. So I recommend stopping at 50 after you get the heart piece, unless you want to go ahead and get all 100 just out of the goodness of your heart, if you're a completionist or whatnot. But yeah, unlimited money, not worth it at this point. So yeah, we're done with that, and now we are going to storm the castle. We are going to save Princess Zelda. And of course, I'm surprised that Zelda couldn't use any of her ninja moves like she did in her Sheik Persona. Blech. As you see here, there's no bridge to Ganon's castle. However, the sages will create a rainbow bridge that will allow us to cross and enter. And when we enter, we will face a challenge of a barrier inside the castle that we have to breach. And I will explain more about that once we enter the castle and, well, pretty much find our way into Ganondorf's lair. Well, inner lair, that is. And with that, folks, the rainbow bridge is created. And we're going to go inside and see if we can get to Ganondorf and rescue the princess. See you in part 49.